start out by saying first and foremost, our focus all the way through this was on the health and well-being and the privacy of our players. And I think, again, as I mentioned a minute ago, they're all progressing well. They're moving forward, and the thing that we're curious about moving forward is certainly to determine what happened, and why may it have happened. And then also, more importantly, just ensure the well-being of all of our players as we move forward. A couple of points I think that are important to cover. I've been a coach at this school now for over 12 years, my second stay, and during that time, I've also been a parent for 7.5 of those years. So first thing I would say, our workouts, whether it be out of season or in season, are designed to be rigorous, and they're also designed to be safe, and I feel that was the case in this as well. I can also share with you that both my wife and I know firsthand what the experience is to have a kid be sick, be hospitalized, and face medical challenges, and there's really nothing that's very, very good about that, certainly. That being said, and when Mary and I went through this, and certainly I feel the same about last week, the trainers at this university, the doctors, the hospital staff, are all first class and just tremendously capable, and I think very compassionate and very possess a lot of expertise. And to the point, people last week certainly were Russ Haynes and Kyle Smith, Dr. Kyle Smith. They both did a fantastic job. But again, it was a team of people that worked together to make sure our players were getting the best of care. Just a little bit of a timeline. Certainly everything kind of kicked in last Monday. And at that point, it really looked like we were dealing with the hydration issues combined with the urine. And then as we moved forward on Tuesday, certainly things began to appear a little bit more serious than what maybe we first have thought. And I was talking with Russ frequently during the course of the day, and I think that's really when it became apparent to me what we were dealing with. Certainly this is something I'd never had experience with. And also I was assured by Russ that the players were receiving just tremendous care from our medical staff. When I returned to campus on Tuesday, I really had a decision to make, and the decision I opted for was to come back to the office and spend considerable time trying to contact all the parents. We had 13 players at that time that had been admitted. I talked to 9 of the parents that evening and left 4 voicemails. And after that, I went home. And on Wednesday, I was out traveling, again staying in contact with Russ, and again being assured that the players were doing fine. Not that they were enjoying their stay, certainly, but they were receiving good care and doing well. And was updated, and then certainly that evening when I got back, I met with the entire group of parents that was on campus at that point, and then met with all the players. And the only thing I would interject there, I could suggest is that perhaps my parents that day, presence that day, could have provided a calming influence, and I may have underestimated that, and I'll leave it at that. Again, I met with the parents on Wednesday, and then Thursday night met with the players and any parents that were there, and we had a couple new parents. Friday and Saturday were pretty much the same routine, and at that point, fortunately, we had players that were leaving, a large group on Friday and another group on Saturday, and then, as you know, the last 2 players left Sunday, so very happy about that. Just a couple other points. There's been a lot of speculation that's been out there, and I think things ranging from suggestion that the players were at fault. That came to my attention Friday afternoon. Apparently something was in the paper. I had not read all the articles at that stage, but one of the parents brought that to my attention. Heard or read that workouts may have been considered to be punitive or barbaric. And then the other thing that came to my attention during the course of the week and had me thinking a little bit was the break that took place prior to the workout that greeted our players when they came back. And that is something I gave consideration to. A couple points on those points. First of all, most importantly, I'm not aware of anything that would suggest or indicate the players did anything wrong, put themselves in harm's way. I have no knowledge of anything there, and that's something as we move forward I think will become apparent. On the topic of punitive issue, I did read somewhere where they took Chris Doyle's words, something to the effect that we'll find out who wants to be here. He was credited with saying that in the team meeting on Tuesday. I was not at that meeting, but I think that's a fairly accurate statement. And I'd also say this: I'd stand by those words, and I've used those words in the past, and I'll use them in the future. And quite frankly, every day I come to work, that's something I give consideration to. What we do here is very competitive, and it requires requires an awful lot of hard work, and I can just share this with you. I don't want to work with people that aren't committed. I don't want to coach players that aren't committed, and because that's really what it takes to compete successfully in this endeavor. So, I don't have any problem with those words. And I will say this, our workouts are challenging by design, and they're also safe by design and supervision. A little background information, which I do think might be helpful. This is really the fourth time that we've gone through an exercise like this with our players. And I'll give you the timeline. In December of 2000, we ran something that was very similar to this. In December of 2007, we did. Obviously, this past month, 2011, or this month I should say, the past month, January 2011. And then the other one also is June of 2004, and I think that's probably the one I would focus on the most because I think it's important in a couple of ways. First of all, the idea of the concept that it was punitive. In 2004, we were in the middle of a period of pretty good prosperity. We'd come off our second top 10 finish. We were 8th in the country for the second year in a row. Just came off of a pretty convincing win against Florida in the Outback Bowl, and we're on our way to winning our second Big Ten championship in 3 years. So, I really think that would kind of shoot the punitive part of it out. The other thing that I'd given consideration to is the break aspect. And in June of 2004, we were coming off a 4-week break. So, I'm not a scientist, but again, that would kind of dispel that theory a little bit. And the other thing I would suggest about the 2004 workout that our players went through is a tougher regimen, actually, and I can tell you a little bit about it. The hardest challenge in there was the players squatted their body weight to max out, so as many reps as they possibly could using their body weight. Two of the players, I'd say, Tony Jackson, one of our tight ends, weighed 265 pounds at that point. He maxed out at 71 reps, and Sean Considine weighed in at 205 in June, repped out at 80. So, those guys went through an exercise. Chick Egiazzi, who's on our staff, was in that group. Jared Oberlin, tremendous walk-on, didn't play a lot, but I'll tell you, I've gotten one of the nicest parent letters in my career from his parents after he completed his career here. He was in that group too, and I could go on. And I'd also invite anybody that wants, I know you like to contact players and talk with players or parents, feel free to talk to anybody who's in that group, because that's probably one of the toughest things we've done here in the last 12 years. Last thing I'll just say on that front too, I've got tremendous confidence in our staff, our entire staff. I think we've got tremendous teachers. I think they're compassionate people, great mentors, and I think they're just outstanding coaches. And I would echo that with Chris Doyle. I'd really encourage everybody to look at his body of work. He's highly respected in his profession. And I'll share this with you too. He's probably the most sought-after coach that I've ever been around on a lot of levels. And when we came here 12 years ago, I really felt like the backbone of our success would be our strength and conditioning program. And you couldn't ask, I don't think, for a better person to head that up. So as we move forward, I think that'll be very, very evident. Talking about moving forward, I think obviously these weeks ahead are very important to all of us, and I think we're looking forward to it. And to me, the key right now is for the medical experts, for the scientists, people a lot smarter than me, certainly, to take a look at all the possible factors that could have affected our players. Because basically what we're trying to do is analyze what may have happened, and more importantly, ensure the future safety of our student athletes. And that's pretty much where we're at right now. That's about all I can say on that topic. So with that being said, I'll be happy to throw out the questions about either topic.
Why did you choose the 4 times you did? I believe it was 4 times to have that or the similar workouts.
I can't